O Great Spirit, O infinite, infinite, infinite Lord of stillness, bless us with thy presence. O ye powers that be, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, the formless and the formed and the formless. O ye beings of the air, the earth, the fire, water, ether, namaste. We are blessed by your presence. Ancestors, ancestors, ancestors of our bloodlines, of our adopted lines, of our marriage lines, of our friendship lines, of all of our spiritual lines. Bless us with thy wisdom. Bless us with thy yoga siddhi. Bless us that we might learn from thy wisdom. Om Shanti. Om Shri Babaji Ya Namaha. Om Shri Lahiri Mahasaya Ji Ya Namaha. Om Shri Keshwaji Ya Namaha. Om Shri Paramahansa Yogananda Ji Ya Namaha. Om Shri Shali Ji Ya Namaha. Om Shri Swami Pranananda Ji Ya Namaha. Most beloved and precious Ishtatevata, bless us with thy presence. Namaste. Namaste. Welcome. Welcome to our Sunday Sangha. Welcome to my heart. Once upon a yogi time, settle in and enjoy. There was a beautiful horse, big, majestic. Its name was Raja Dasa. It was the servant of the king. It was a beautiful horse, white with a long mane, tall, very, 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 very tall. The tallest horse, the biggest, the most beautiful horse in the whole kingdom. Rajadasa, was the horse that the king rode whenever he was out seeing the people. And Rajadasa would prance. They braided flowers in his hair. They braided his tail, so beautiful, with the most beautiful flowers. Put a big crown of flowers around his neck every time he went out. And upon his head was a special crown that was made for him, Rajadas. He was a proud fellow, Rajadas was. very proud, the fastest, the grandest horse in all of the kingdom. One day there was a fair, a gathering of all the people from all over the kingdom, and others came too. Other kings, other lords came from other kingdoms, and they all had their beautiful horses. And there was whispering started, whispering. Oh, I wonder if there's going to be a horse that's better than Rajadas. I wonder if there's going to be a horse that's bigger than Rajadas. I wonder if the king is going to choose another horse instead of Rajadas. These whispers, they floated to the ears of Rajadas. And all around him on the festival, every place he went, instead of hearing Rajadas, Rajadas, yay, oh, Rajadas, 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 he was hearing these little, I wonder when he's going to fall. I wonder when he's going to fall. I wonder when he's going to fall. And so he goes to sleep. Horses do sleep, you know. He had a very comfortable stable, very comfortable bed. And in his dream, all of the whispers came. All of the whispers surrounded him. Oh, they were around him. Oh, I bet he's going to get a lame leg. And then the king will love him no more. He will just be ordinary like we are. And they whispered. And they whispered. And the whisper became loud, and it overtook his dreams. And in his dream, suddenly, he was in a race, and he fell in a hole in the ground that he failed to see. And he sprained his ankle and his knee and his leg. The whispers continued in the dream. And the next morning, Rajadas woke up, and his groom came. Good morning, Rajadas. Good morning, Rajadas. I'm so glad to see you, Rajadas. Rajadas gets up, two back legs, gets up, lifts his left leg, or his right leg rather, I'm sorry, his left leg. Oh, 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 oh. This has never happened to me before. Couldn't lift his leg. Oh, the groom was upset because Rajadas was supposed to carry the king today, and he could not. He was so hurt and in so much pain. So they called the vet in, along with the Swami. They're both looking at Rajadas, shaking their head, and the vet says, there's nothing wrong with Rajadas. This is fine. This leg is fine. And Swami says, Rajadas, can I ask you a question? Yes. It was a talking horse. What happened last night? What happened? What happened yesterday? Oh, everybody was criticizing me. They all said that I was not going to be the king's favorite anymore, that there were better than me, that there were others better than me. I know that there are other horses, there are other beings better than me in the world, and the king would love them better. Then what happened? Well, I went in a race, and there was a hole in the ground, not a big hole, a hole, and I stumbled, and look, I sprained my leg. Isn't that interesting, Rajadas? You sprained your leg in your dream, and you brought it forth to the earth. Now, what do you think you could do? Rajadas scratches his head, takes his hoof and rubs his nose. I don't know. I don't know. I cannot stand this pain. It is too much for me. So the Swami says, you got an idea, Rajadas. You just lay down again. Lay down, go back to sleep. All right, let's go back to sleep. The parade is coming pretty soon, but they get him to lie down. And the Swami wisely talks Rajadas back into his dreams. Oh, go back into thy dreams. Now all these people, all the sound that was in thy dreams, let it dissolve away. Oh, it's too hard, it's too hard, it's too hard. Neti, neti, neti. Let it dissolve away. What can you replace it with? Om Shri Rajava Namaha. Om Shri Rajava Namaha. Om Shri Rajava Namaha. For Raja was the name of the king. The horse was Rajadas, the servant of the king. And as Rajadas chanted Om Shri Rajava Namaha, Om Shri Rajava Namaha, he sees his beloved king in front of him in his dreams. And the king, he hears Om Shri Rajava Namaha. Om Shri Rajava Namaha. Om Shri Rajava Namaha. And suddenly Rajadas is filled with strength, with vitality, with the energy of the king, the energy of his love and devotion flowing up from every cell of his being, but flowing up from the depths of his being, overcoming the fears, rising. He shakes his mane and he gets up and stands and prances. And Swami whispers in his ear, Om Shri Raja Das. Om Shri Raja Das Vanamaha. Om Shri Raja Das Vanamaha. And Rajadas awakens. And he's well, and he's prancing, and he's happy, and he's prepared, and he's no longer hearing all of the whispers. He's no longer hearing all the whispers. For he knows his love and his devotion will help him. Gets up, back 2 legs, right leg, left leg stands up, and he's just fine. And the vet smiles, and the Swami smiles, and they brush his hair and tell him all will be well. Now there was a little girl in the corner saying, I don't understand why Rajadas could not stand up. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Said the Swami, now that's another story. And he asked her to sit and watch. And she sees him. First coming out, the young king with his wife, so beautiful, so strong. And following the young king, the old king, who had once been so revered. They don't cheer him. His queen is with him. She's old. They don't cheer her. Only the young and the vital they are cheering. But they all get to the top. And the young king turns to his father and mother and says, today we will let you speak first. What words of wisdom do you have to share with our people? And the king looked and he said, close your eyes. Rub, rub, rub. No mirror, no mind. Now open your eyes. What then is this? And he takes his crown and lifts it from his head and says, rub, rub, rub. No mirror, no mind. What then is this? He puts it aside. And he takes his robes. Rub, rub, rub. No mirror, no mind. What then is this? He takes his robes off and lays them down. And his son, the young, virile, vital king, looks at the papa and says, I thank you. Not quite sure what you're trying to say. Papa says to him, someday you too will take off this crown. Rub, rub, rub. No mirror, no mind. What then is this? You, my son, this crown that you wear so proudly upon your head, it is there for a short time. If you think you are nothing but the king, what will happen when the time ends? Now is the time for you, my son, for you, my beloved daughter-in-law, the queen, and for all of you, to look at the crowns you are wearing, to look at the jewels you are wearing, to look at the symbols you are wearing and say, rub, rub, rub. No mind, no mirror. What then is this? What is the reality in which we are living? The reality in which some of you have gone down into the depths of despair, the depths of illness, the depths of dissension among your family, dissension among your friends, dissension among your people. Some of you have climbed down so far into the realms of Pluto that you think you're never going to come back. Some of you have become so proud of who you are, who you think you are. You're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a business owner. Oh, you're Swami. Oh, that's a big one. What then is this? If I am no longer those things, what am I? Who am I? Who are you? And so what does yoga teach us? What do we need to do next? I did not understand this concept many decades ago. And I was with my guru, and I had been offered an opportunity to go to work in a big company with what seemed like an important job. It wasn't, it just felt like it at the time. And a title that grew and grew and grew that was not important. And my guru said to me, Swamiji, be careful of the clothes you put on. Be careful of the briefcase you pick up. When you pick these things up, it is hard to leave. It is hard to walk away. It is hard to free yourself of the karmas that you're walking into. Rub, rub, rub. I did not really believe him. To be honest, I kind of said, okay, and he said, I'm very serious. You pick up that briefcase and you will become like that. He had a briefcase. There was nothing wrong with briefcases, but he was giving me a message. And he said, you have to be careful. You walk into a piece of karma, and it will take a long time to walk out. For me, it took a Saturn cycle to leave that particular piece of karma. Now, I wouldn't say it was a bad piece of karma. I'm not sure that I would do it again. I certainly learned a lot from it. But the key is that we should see before it comes. We should see the karma before it comes and decide, is this a piece of karma that I want to step into? Is it wise for me to step into? How's it going to change my life? And what is my life about? What am I here to learn, do? What am I here for? Everything, and you've heard this before, but everything that has a beginning, everything that has a beginning has an ending. And in that ending is a new beginning. And so we must make peace with the evolution, the letting go, the coming back together, the letting go, the coming back together. But in that making peace, there is a necessity to let go of the clinging to who and what you think you are. I had a problem last week, in fact, it seems so long ago. And I called the company that I had the problem with to try to solve it. And I talked to one person and they escalated it to the senior director of operations. Bless him, bless him, bless him. In the 10 minutes we talked, 6 times he said, I'm the senior director of operations. This should not happen. These problems don't come to me. I will fix it. I'm the senior director of operations. And I listened. After the first time he said it, I listened very, very carefully, because what was happening? What did he repeat? What were the words he repeated? I don't get these kind of calls. I need to solve this. I'm the senior director of operations. What did he do? He put a box around himself. Box, 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 box. There were certain things he would do, certain things he would not do, because he thought he was the senior director of operations. He forgot that he was a soul. He forgot that he was a spirit. He forgot that he was embodied in his physical body. And that senior director of operations that he thought he was, in a nanosecond, it's gone. In the blink of an eye. Now, whether he's that position for 30 years or he's that position for 30 days, it's still the blink of an eye in the totality of life. And so we must say to ourselves, what do I think I am? Who do I think I am? What am I preventing myself from doing? How am I limiting myself by the idea of who and what I am? My husband is a pianist, and he's a musician. He started playing musical instruments when he was quite young, but he didn't start playing piano until he was in his 30s. And so for many years he would say, I am and he'd put some adjective in front of the verb, or in front of the noun, pianist. Finally, I said to him, I'm getting tired of this. It's been going on for 20 years, 20, 25 years, I guess. I said, the time I said it, I said, can't you just say that you're a pianist? Do you have to say, do you have to rate it or score it every time you use that word? Can you say, I love music, and not say, but I'm not as good as? Because when you say I'm not as good as, all you're saying is I haven't practiced as much as. All these people that you think are wonderful, wonderful pianists or musicians, Oh, the cellist, Yo-Yo Ma. How did he get to be such a good cellist? He practiced. He practiced. He practiced. Any good musician, any good composer, they practice. And so if you are not as good as they are, all that's happened is you have not practiced as much. Now, once upon another yogi time, there was a king who decided at the end of his life that he was going to wander his kingdom and find a new place to set up camp, if you will. He had reached old age and he could let his son take over and his daughter take over. And he came into a village, and approaching the village, he saw a cemetery. Cemeteries are such interesting places, aren't they? And he walks to one marker and he sees 3 years. Walks to the next marker and he sees 4.5 years. The next one says 1 year, 5 years. And he walked, and there was never more than 5 years. And he thought, well, I don't know. This doesn't look like a very good place to stay. Nobody lives here more than 5 years, you know. But as he's getting ready to leave, the people come out and greet him, and they are so joyful and so kind and welcoming and warm to him. And he said, well, I was thinking about staying here, but there's a problem. Nobody seems to live here very long. They don't live more than 5 years, it seems. Oh, communication, communication, communication. Said their elders, please come. And they opened up. They asked everybody in the village to come. And everybody in the village had a little book, if you will, a little tiny book. Each person, they opened their book. There were little marks on the books. And then there was a mark for the village, big book. And every person's name, and next to every person's name, once a year, there were little marks. What is this? Oh, this is a record of how much time we spend doing our sadhana, our prayers, our discipline, our rituals, our mantra. Every person, they record how many minutes, how many hours, and thus how many days, how many months they spend doing it. And when it comes to the end of our life, the only thing we count here is how much time we've spent doing our spiritual practice, how much time we've spent doing our sadhana. You can only imagine what the king said. But I will tell you, he set up camp there and stayed for a while. And it is said that when the end of his life came, he broke the village record. Giving hope to all who came. Now, what does this have to do with the horse? What does it have to do with the horse who broke his leg? The horse who broke his leg because he heard people whispering about him, saying not nice things about him, whispering, 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 whispering. He broke his leg in his dream, but he brought that forth. Why did he break the leg in the dream? Because in his everyday life, he had been hearing all these sounds. And rather than cleaning them out, doing something about them, he brought it into the dream state, and it vivified, and it strengthened, and he broke his leg in the dream, and thus he brought it into the earth and could not walk. What does it have to do with you? And the titles you're wearing, the names you're wearing, the clothes you're wearing, those things that you are surrounding yourself with, which limit you, which say, limit me. They limit me. They say, oh, I can't dress like this. Oh, I can't have my hair cut like that. Oh, I can't do this. I can't go there. I can't dance. I can't sing. Oh, not if I'm a Swami. Oh, yes, 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 you can. Oh, I can't do that if I'm a businessman. People won't take me seriously. I can't do that if I'm a businesswoman. People won't take me seriously. I can't do that if I am this. And then you move to another country and you find out that what was okay in one country is not okay in the other. You take your shoes off before you enter a house in Japan. You put the shoes for the house in. And even if you are in a restaurant in Japan, you take your shoes off before you go into a bathroom and you put the bathroom shoes on. You do that before you go into a temple too. There's shoes for those purposes. Right? You change. Just as you change your shoes, the reality in which you are living changes. And so what does this mean again? What am I trying to say? Rub, rub, rub. No mind, no mirror. What then is this? No mirror, no mind. What then is this? There is a way for you to see who and what you are. Let go of those things that you think you are. And the way is very simple. It is really simple. Sit down, a few moments of quiet. That's probably the hardest part, getting yourself a few moments of quiet and peace where you can truly reflect and think. Get yourself those few moments. And ask yourself, oh, who do I think I am? And how does that expand my consciousness, and how does that limit my consciousness? When my mother-in-law was ill, and at the end of her life, I became Vernil's daughter-in-law. My father-in-law was ill, I became Bill's daughter-in-law. My father was ill, I became Roy's daughter. My mother was ill, I became Connie's daughter. My stepmom was ill, I became Betty's daughter. Nobody who talked to me knew anything about me other than I was their daughter. Everything that was shaped, go in the hospital, you go do anything, you talk to anybody, and they no longer call you by your name. They say, oh, this is his daughter, this is her daughter, this is the daughter-in-law, this is the daughter-in-law. And there becomes a whole set of expectations around what you are there for, why they will communicate with you, what they will say to you. But in all of your life, for many of you, it's the reverse. It's, this is her mother, this is her father. And you become identified by the roles that you are living. And this is what I've been trying to say to you this morning, this deep teaching. Let go of those roles that you think you are playing. It is a game, it is a play that you are writing action by action. You're building the play of your life. And let go of those things that are not serving you well. And even better, I get, okay, you've got young children, you must be, yeah, they're your mother, you're their mother, you're their father, and there are things that you must do. But, there are pieces of that you could let go of. Like you don't have to brag to the world about their achievements. You can tell them they're doing a good job. They did a good job. You did a good job. When they do a good job. But you don't have to go to the neighbors and say, my daughter, my son, they're better than yours. Look at those things that you are saying or doing, those things that you're identifying with, which puff up the ego self. And that's the best way that I can say it. And then you will find you will be given plenty of opportunities to let those go. Plenty of circumstances in which you will say, I see, not so good. Oh, I see. Let this go. Let me turn inward and ascend upward so that I can remember. Remember what? Remember who and what you are. And if that's too vague for you, so that you can remember yesteryear, so you can remember the mistake you made last month, last week, last year, when a circumstance arose and you did something that caused difficult karma to draw into your life. Remember so you don't do it the next time. Remember so you don't do it the next time. Remember so you don't do it the next time. When it's muddy outside, put shoes on that you can wear in the mud. When it's raining, put a rain hat on. When it's hot, carry an umbrella to guard yourself from the sun. And again, go back to the horse. Please don't forget the horse. Don't forget the horse. The whispers of others that you heard, that Rajadasa heard. The servant, the horse of the king, the mount of the king. What a great role to play, the mount of the king. He heard the whispers, and they lamed him. Until he could meditate and come to his senses, if you will. And with that, my beloved, we will meditate together and hopefully lift our vibrations so that these coming days will be good, will be better than they have been, even better than they have been. And that the whispers of the others will die down in your ears, and that you will hear the Om, the great Om. You will see the light of self-awareness at your sun center, and you will remember. Let us meditate. Sit with your spine erect, placing the hands on the thighs in the Om mudra. Turn your head to the left, exhaling twice, and bring it back to the center in the resurrection breath. Now begin to watch the breath. And use the sipping breath to draw the energy from the limbs to the trunk. From the trunk to the spinal column. from the base of the spine to the sun center. Move the energy out in front of you as a golden ball of light and sweep it around to the left, encasing your entire being in golden light. And do this 3 times. Expand that golden light. And now ascend upward as high as you are able, above the building, above the city, above the continent, above the earth. Entering into the high place. Find your place of meditation. In front of you is a path leading up the mountain. Enter upon the path. You hear the water flowing down. And see in front of you a grove filled with light, built of crystals. Enter into this grove of light. And see that it is colored with perfect light for you. Walk to the back, and there's a pool of light, and a waterfall of light flowing down from the highest mountains, the highest crystal mountains to this spot. Enter into the water of light, the pool, leading you to the waterfall of light. As you enter the pool, all of the old dissolves away. The old scaly skin, the old thoughts that are not useful anymore. All of the difficult karmas begin to dissolve away. Loosen, loosen, loosen. You stand now under the light, feeling the light reflecting and pouring upon you. The crystals and all of the blessings from the earth, all of the blessings from the high places pour down upon you. Pour down upon your astral body. First your causal, your astral, pouring down into the physical body, shaking free the karmas of the past. Breathe in the light. Open your heart, your Ajna chakra, at your sun center. Open the 1,000-petal lotus, allowing the light to pour down into your chakra system. All of the old washing away. All the difficult karmas washing away. Feel your entire being filled with light. Let thine eye be single. Look through your third eye, your Ajna chakra, and see the light thou art. Walking forth from the waterfall of light. Through the pool of light. Through the grand entrance of the crystal cove. Sit in meditation. Open your inner eye. Your Ishta Devata is standing in front of you, blazing radiant light, holding a mirror. Gaze into your Ishta Devata. Gaze into the eyes of your Ishta Devata. Now open your inner eye and gaze into the mirror. Dhyana Mulam Guru Mutir, Puja Mulam Guru Padam, Mantra Mulam Guru Vakyam, Moksha Mulam Guru Kripa. May the light flow in every cell of your being. May you be filled with anandic bliss, the sweetness of life. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And may you remember. May you see the light that thou art. And may you remember. Ananda, 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 Ananda. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Holding the sweetness of that feeling state. Return then, as you wish, to your place of meditation, carrying the blessings with you. Namaste. Namaskar.